My name is Manav Lakiani and I'm 19 years old. Well, originally I started with drums since I was, when I look back at some of the tapes my parents took of me when I was a baby, basically, and 1 year old, and a lot of them were me banging on different kinds of things, making music out of them. There was this one time I took three, those, you get buckets, you get the canisters of milk, milk powder. You used to get canisters, or you still do, and I used to beat on those, and then just for a joke, at least at that time, to me, I didn't even know what jokes were, I took a can and started like tapping on the bottom bit as well. Super funny. From then on, when I actually think about it, my parents were like, you should have gone to drum school at that time, or we should have known earlier when you were doing this. Because I started drumming at 9, and that's when I started going to the drum lessons. But when I went to drum lessons, they weren't teaching me what I wanted to learn. My brother was, since he was so much into music and audio, that he knew exactly what I needed to learn to do. So he bought me a drum kit. He bought me a double bass, which is basically a bass pedal with 2 pedals. And that's when I started, basically at 9, I started the drums, and he used to tell me what I wanted to do. So basically, when I went to the teacher and told him, teach me what I want to learn, and the teacher got a little bit pissed, and he's like, you know what? Pay half the tuition to use the drum kit, learn whatever you want alone, use the drum kit. Basically, you're renting the drum kit, and that's it. And from then on, I just started practicing songs, doing whatever I needed to, completely, just alone. And I did a pretty good job. I went to keyboard next, and basically as I was doing drums, it was good, because when you learn the drums, you learn how to keep time, which is a very important thing in any instrument. If you can't keep time and you can just play, there's no point to it. So unless you're playing jazz, which still you need to keep time, but you need to keep timing faster and slower at the same time. Yes, I bought my first secondhand keyboard from it was kind of the eBay of Dubai, and it was a pretty good job. I earned that money as well. When I think about it, I used to run business, a small business in school itself. I used to sell things, basically like secondhand merchandise, just to people in the school. Not my own, but I take from others and I sell it, and that's how I made some of the money as well. I bought the keyboard with that. I couldn't afford lessons, obviously. My parents were like, go for keyboard lessons, we'll pay for it. But I was just like, again, they'll teach me the basics, obviously. But with the amount of stuff I had going on, I probably thought, nah, I'll get time and I'll do it on my own.
My name's Emma and I'm 14. I started drawing myself in year 5, just because I needed to do a project about myself and I had no idea what to do, so I thought, oh, maybe I'll just do it on drawing, and I ended up really enjoying it, so I've stuck with it through the years. Sometimes comics, or people usually with very strong emotions, or with other people in different dynamic poses and all that. It depends. I sometimes draw fan arts of other comics or animes or games or TV shows, but I always have quite a lot of original characters that I draw, since I'm drawing a comic at the moment. One of my favourite characters would be from the anime Kaichou Maid Summer, which was my first ever, and the main character Misaki, because she's really intense and really strong, even though she has to have 7 jobs to support her family because her father left them. It was still pretty inspirational. Well, since school started teaching it, I really liked writing my own stories and maybe short sort of situations that just come to my mind, and maybe I can use them as inspiration for later artworks and things like that. Usually probably about supernatural things, not usually slice of life or things that would happen in the real world. This is my costume for today's concert, and I'm a toy soldier. I play tenor saxophone and flute. I started playing flute in year 5 when we had to play a compulsory instrument, and I started tenor saxophone last year, and I ended up going on an instrumental tour in March this year for my tenor saxophone. I haven't won anything individually, but as a band, a concert band, we've won 2 gold shields in the instrument sort of festival. Probably something that's upbeat and maybe something that I would know. So maybe some modern stuff, maybe some old rock stuff. I'm not a big fan of classical. Probably Jazz Police, because it's upbeat, it's fun, and it's a duet. I play with one of my friends. I'm in the school concert band, jazz ensemble and presentation night orchestra. It's a lot of commitment, but I really, really enjoy it. Concert band definitely, because it's one I've been in the longest, and we play pieces that I like the most.
My name is Alex and my age is 22. The way I got my internship with Bandshop, well, we had to do a compulsory 80 hours for my university degree. So I pretty much called a whole heap of booking agencies and management companies, and the most important thing I did was I created a script of what I wanted to say when I called the people, because you call on the phone and you get really, you have in your head what you want to say, and you get real nervous and you don't say what you want to say. So I did that with a lot of booking agencies, and then a lot of the time they'd say, yeah, just email me your details. So after that, I'd try to create like a really personalised, funny email, because they would get a lot of mundane people emailing them saying, oh, can I have an internship at your booking agency? So I try to make mine as funny as possible, so they think it's a bit different. And yeah, Bandshop must have thought it was okay. And the reason I wanted to do music industry is because and like music business, because I'm a pretty terrible musician. So I do like to play drums and guitar in my spare time, but I'm pretty terrible at them. Young people to step straight out of high school into university, it's so hard, and so many people I talk to that did that are now at the end of their course, they're like, oh, I don't like what I did. I didn't want to do that subject. So it's awesome. Best thing I ever did was go overseas for 6 months. I think in Scandinavia it's compulsory that you have a 1-year gap year. So apparently that works really well for a lot of Scandinavian countries. So yeah, stuff I like to do for fun. Movies, all movies, as long as it's a good movie. With the new Star Wars movie coming out, I'm re-watching all 6 Star Wars movies. So yeah, I get obsessive compulsive for a short period of time of things. I love to re-watch movies like Lord of the Rings and Batman. I'm a big nerd when it comes to that stuff. So when Lord of the Rings came out, I watched all the movies and read all the books, and so I love the Lord of the Rings books. They're great. Comics. Batman comics. The only thing I can think of is that my mum bought me a big, thick Batman book. It was it's Bruce Wayne's diaries. So it's written like Bruce Wayne's written this whole diary about everyone that's ever been in the Batman comics. It's about that thick. And that's the only thing I can think of. Emotional significance is because, Batman is awesome, but Batman would be the only superhero that doesn't have any powers. So he pretty much just works hard at what he does and uses his brain. So, obviously he's got a big fortune, but he's always on the back foot because he's got no powers. But he always tends to beat everyone. So if you work hard at what you do, you can always end up on top.
My name's Dave Matheson. I'm a booking agent at Bandshop, the largest corporate entertainment agency in Australia. Over the years I've written a lot of material for both myself, my own projects, and other people as well. And been fortunate enough to collaborate with a lot of really intelligent artists, a lot of really creative people. But I sort of made my first foray into that when I was actually still a teenager. Just sort of tried my hand at it, at writing tunes and things. And to be honest, I wasn't very good at it. There was a lot of me trying to copy the Beatles and then come up with lyrics that ended up sounding just like Beatles songs, which is a great idea, but you get sued for that. But over the course of sort of playing with a lot of cover bands, playing a lot of different styles of music, and learning the intricacies of a lot of songs, I sort of came about a bit of a different songwriting formula, and spent a lot of time writing, funnily enough, just for a combination of things, a lot of folk and a lot of death metal, which a lot of people didn't really get, but that was the way that I went about it, and had a lot of good success too. Spent quite a bit of time over in North America and Europe and the UK, touring both solo with a couple of different bands, and also as a session player as well, doing backup vocals and percussion and a bit of guitar and whatever was required. Really. So 7 years ago, I started management. I'd come home from being overseas for quite a while. Wasn't really sure which direction to take, whether I still wanted to play music or move into something else. So I actually went to TAFE and did my second degree, which was a Bachelor of Business with a focus on the music industry. From there, began managing artists as well. So I was still playing, doing corporate gigs and things like that. And I started managing a band called Deep Street Soul, who are a really sort of heavy, gritty gutter funk band. We were quite successful there. They'd had a few festival slots and done a bit of touring in the past. We got them on the bill for Ormy, which ended up leading to an appearance at Glastonbury over in the UK, which is the largest music festival on the planet.
I'm Nick. I'm 15, turning 16 in a month. I play trombone, and currently at school I'm in quite a few quite a few ensembles. So I'm in the Senior Symphonic Wind Ensemble, the Stage Band. I'm in the Senior A Cappella, which is a vocal group, and then also Pop Choir, which is another vocal group. And I've just auditioned for a new one that's coming next year, where it's just 8 people for a jazz competition that's every year called Mount Gambier, which is something that we all look forward to. I started at the end of Year 6 or during Year 6 because a man came to our school to advertise for music lessons because they were just bringing it in. And I don't know, I just liked the sound of the trombone, like the bright, like but also deep in the range, because it can
brassy.
Yeah, and it can go low and high, and it's fun to play with the slide because you can do lots of like glissandos and sliding down and stuff, which is really cool. Well, everything in band on Friday night, we had we just played through some songs like, I don't know, the Soul Bossa Nova and like Sesame Street and things like that, which is really fun. And we found ourselves like going over time, and I had to leave early because I had a choir rehearsal that same night. Yeah, I really like sport, just all sports. I just like being outside or just running around. I find it really fun. But well, at school we play a lot of soccer. So basically every lunchtime we're always out on the field playing soccer, and that's really fun. But also I played hockey since I was 4, so longer than choir. But because of choir I had to stop with the club, but I was able to keep going with school. So yeah, I've always had to choose between music and sport, which I don't really like to do because I like them both really the same. Outdoor, but I also do futsal, which is like a community kind of thing where you don't go, it's not like a club, but you play against, so it's organised games but not team, like specific teams, and I do that with one of my friends and that's really enjoyable. I started futsal I think last year or like quite recently because one of my friends was doing it for a while and I've always wanted to do it. But it was on Friday nights when choir was, so I couldn't really do it, but then he started doing it on Sundays. And then so every Sunday I usually go to futsal, which is really fun.
My name is Bonita Sorrentino and I'm 17 years old. So I was inspired to enter a beauty pageant called the Face of the Globe Australia. This is because I'd had a few troubles with my friendship group, inside my friendship group, and I wanted to leave that group behind and start fresh. So I ended up making new friends, formed a new group, and one night I was pretty much just scrolling through my Facebook and it popped up on the sidebar and I decided to have a read and look through it, and the Face of the Globe has a really big charity aspect to it, and as I've had some interest in the charity side of things, I wanted to give it a go. So without telling my mum, I just entered, applied online, and I got accepted. So once I did, I was really excited and I told my mum about it and she said, why not, let's give it a go. So we had an orientation day, we handed in our charity funds. We got to meet everybody. So we got to meet the lovely directors, Stephanie and Jessica. They were amazing. And I made so many lifelong friends, like amazing experience meeting everybody. And I still have contact with them now. So we're still friends. The next day, it was over a 2-day weekend. I was really lucky because it was held in Melbourne. And girls from all around Australia flew into Melbourne. So they had it at the Mantra Tullamarine Hotel. And so I was really lucky I didn't have to travel anywhere. Right in Melbourne, it took me 20 minutes to drive there. And people from Queensland, New South Wales and other parts of Australia had to fly in to compete. And so on the crowning night, we had really great, so the day started with the formal interview. So we had to have an interview with the judges. And then we had the official crowning night. So that was really fun. We had 2 sections. We had the cocktail section and the evening gown section. And then afterwards we had about a 30-minute break. My whole family came to support me, which was amazing. I had about 20 guests come support me. They were all in the front row cheering really loud, which made my confidence go up 10 times more. And at the crowning night, I was actually crowned second runner-up. So I formed Team Australia in the teen section. There's actually 4 girls competing overseas next year, and I'm one of them. I was the highest scoring Victorian finalist as well. So that was really cool. And then I was crowned, and about 2 weeks later I received my Face of the Globe Australia sash. So it looks like this, and it has my name at the back as well. It's really cool. So my mum was very big with helping me. She helped me, and my dad and my little sisters as well. So the very first fundraiser that I organised was a sausage sizzle, so that was really fun. It was just held at my local Safeway. And I held a few bake sales at my school, so my teachers were really supportive with, helping me raise funds for the Rainbow Child Foundation. And now leading up to my Face of the Globe International pageant, I've organised, next week I've actually got another sausage sizzle. Then the Sunday after that I've got the City to Surf 15-kilometre fun run. So far I've raised almost $500 for that, which is really amazing. So I started out being friends with this one group in Year 7, and I was with them for a while, and I think it changed around Year 10. Yes. Yeah, I think some of the girls in the group were just starting to be a bit too immature. There was a lot of fights happening within the group, which I didn't like at all. I just really wanted to separate myself from them, and the drama has still continued, even though we're not friends anymore. I've got no communication with them whatsoever, but I would like to encourage all young people would be to go out and follow their dreams. Do whatever that you have set your mind to, and don't let anything set you back, whether it is self-image. Just try to look past it. Everyone is beautiful and unique in their own way.
My name's Christine and I'm 13 years old. When Sweeney Todd finished, I auditioned for another musical called Hairspray, and I got into that, so that's gonna happen next month, I think. So we've been rehearsing every Saturday ready for that, so yeah. With the Australian Academy of Dance in Melbourne. I'm Edna Turnblad, Tracy's mum, so she's quite a role, and I was really excited because she's quite different to the role I played in Sweeney Todd, so I'm very excited. We rehearse every Saturday, and then we are performing 2 nights as the show. So when the show goes on, we'll perform for 2 shows. I have to sing Welcome to the 60s. I have a little solo in that song. And then The Big Doll House, I sing in that. I sing in You Can't Stop the Beat. And I just sing in ensemble songs off stage. Excuse me for a while, as I'm wide-eyed and I'm so damn caught in the middle. I've excused you for a while, as I'm wide-eyed and I'm so damn caught in the middle. And a lion roars, would you not listen? If a child cries, would you not forgive them?
My name's Alex and I'm 13 years old. I don't know, I'm pretty good with computers. Like, I don't know, like when I was bored once, I was searching up like basic coding or something. It's like HTML, it's like website coding, what people use for website, and it's like stories on the website of how it changed some guy's life that wasn't doing anything. He learnt it, now he makes websites for a living. So like I only know like 3 things, like how to make a title, a text, and that's pretty much, and to insert an image. But I used to know a little bit more, but I forgot. I only tried for like 5 or 10 minutes, but it got complicated. Next time I'll probably like have a notepad next to me so I can just keep notes down. I don't know, it's good training for me because she said she wanted to do it for her career, so yeah, she's doing well. I can't sing very well. She can do stuff that people enjoy, like shows, and that's entertainment. It's a good thing.